Hello, hello everybody. Aiden here, and welcome to another video here on the Around the Slice Entertainment YouTube channel. Tonight, as you do every Thursday night, we're going to review a new episode of The Pitt. This being episode 3 of season 2 of The Pitt, titled 9 o'clock a.m. Let's just jump right into it. I thought this was a fantastic, at least on my own personal level, a fantastic bounce back episode. Because if you saw my review from last week, you would know that I was not the biggest fan of last week's episode and was a bit underwhelmed. I thought it was good, but not great, like I've come to expect this show to be through season 1 and through 3 episodes of season 2. But I thought this was a fantastic bounce back episode. First, starting off with we're going to go through some storylines I have my eye on going forward, and from this episode specifically that caught my eye, if you will. First of all, the pacing. This episode, more so than any other episode, wastes no time getting into things. Specifically with the college kid. I think his name, if I recall, his name was Jackson Davis. And later we come to find out that he had no drugs in his system. From all the tests they did, Dr. L gets it back from Dana. He had no drugs in his system. And there's clearly some sketchy shit going on because the campus security guy, Tony something, I can't remember his last name, doesn't matter. Tony comes in, he can't wait to give a statement. He wants to wait around instead of getting checked out in a waiting room. He wants to wait around in the hospital to give a statement. It might sound like the kid was just minding his own business when the campus security guard came up and tased him. I'm sure we'll get into that in the future, but that's definitely some sketchy shit going on in those two. So we have to keep an eye on that for sure. And then next, one big theme, one big through line, if you will, throughout this entire episode. Motorcycles and brain injuries were obviously a big theme, seemingly a big theme throughout this entire episode. Let's start with the first patient that came in that literally crushed his skull in a severe, deadly motorcycle accident. Unfortunately, died on scene the minute he was at the hospital, died immediately. And then while they're checking him over, when they realize he's dead, Dr. Garcia makes a comment that that relates to Dr. Robby not wearing a helmet. And I feel like, are they forced? And Dr. Robby goes, yeah, I wear a helmet. We know that's a lie, though, from the opening of episode 1, where he's going across the bridge. Obviously, it takes place in Pittsburgh. So, from episode 1, we know that's a lie. Yeah, I wear a helmet. Obviously, a lie again. I wonder if they're foreshadowing. I doubt they're going to kill off Robby because they've already renewed his season 3. They're not going to freaking kill off Dr. Robby, literally the main character of the Pit as a whole in its entirety. But I wonder if this is foreshadowing a major injury to Dr. Robby and due to the fact that he doesn't wear a helmet. So that's number one. Number two, another theme with the brain injury, the couple that got hit by a motorcycle. So there's a lot of motorcycle foreshadowing here, a lot of brain injury issues. And third and final one, what I thought was the saddest, Dr. McKay's been checking over Mr. Williams, and he has a brain tumor now. So maybe it will have some talk on how doctors deal with brain tumors and how people cope with brain tumors. So I like the deeper themes, and especially in this episode, the motorcycles and the brain injury and Dr. Robby's lack thereof wearing a helmet. I wonder if that's foreshadowing something. Again, they're not going to kill him off, but based on Dr. Garcia's comments, based on Dr. Robby fibbing a little, I feel like maybe he will get a brain injury somehow, or some severe head injury, or maybe he won't even go on a sabbatical. I'm still speculating. There's no way he goes in that thing because Mrs. It starts with C. I can't remember her last name, but the lady that kind of had the broken English a little, that was in the one room getting checked over, and she was going over to Emma Nolan. Her name was, the nurse in training, if you will. The patient couldn't believe that Dr. Robby at around 50 years old, was going on that sabbatical. So maybe he really takes that to heart and reconsiders things. For one reason or another, I still highly doubt he actually goes on that sabbatical. Next, blanket statement. Joy is stepping up. We know Ogilvy's the overly smart one. We know Ogilvy tries to impress everyone. But Joy's legitimately stepped up in this episode, and we saw legitimate character growth from her. She was stepping up in big moments when they were in surgery. when they asked questions, she was answering left and right. She was really thinking on her toes, thinking on her feet, if you will. She wasn't just deadpanned to the camera. She wasn't just dead faced, like she had no idea what she was doing. Like she had legitimate answers. I feel like she's a little more upbeat and willing to help and willing to kind of like help these patients more and more. So it was really cool to see. I kind of speculated this the minute I saw her with the patient, but Dr. Santos was completely off base and completely wrong on Kylie and her father. And we saw that come to a head when Dr. Santos, the father's girlfriend, the father, Dylan, the social worker that was filling in for Kiara this specific day in this season, and Ahmad, the head security guard, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, were yelling and fighting. And I feel like Ahmad was about to step in and maybe like do something, but it didn't go to that level. But Dr. Santos was completely off base, which it's good that she's attentive, if that's even a word. It's good that she pays attention a lot. It's good that she knows what's up because she clearly had abuse in her past, but she jumps to conclusions way too often, and I knew it was going to backfire on her. Luckily, it wasn't like too big of a consequences because at the end of the day, they wanted to help Kylie, and they did come to the conclusion that it was some genetic thing. But yeah, but I had a strong feeling that it would backfire on her. And then Ogilvy and Javadi's budding rivalry, if you will, it's gotten much worse. Like it started last episode, now it's just gotten much worse. They're one-upping each other in the surgery room. When they were checking a patient, they were interrupting each other. And it's gonna all come to a head. It's already starting to disrupt other doctors. Dr. Mohan, after they all stop talking, yelling, she's like, what? And I would be like that too. And I feel like this could get on everyone's nerves and become very annoying. Me as a viewer, I'm annoyed. So yeah. And then at the end, this is kind of a small thing I picked up. Not many of you might not care about this, but I liked how Maud at the end made the joke of the betting grid. Because they're obviously getting more they're going to be getting a lot more patients and ambulances from West Penn because West Penn had some internal issues that they were shutting down, I think. So for one reason or another, they were shutting down. So I like how Ahmad kind of brought back this seems like a great time for another betting grid with all his fellow security guards, a few of the doctors here and there, like they did in season 1 with the runaway ambulance and the college kids with the frat house, the frat party that stole the ambulance. That was funny. This show isn't laugh out loud funny, but it has some one-liners from the doctors and security guard like Ahmad, who really brighten it up in terms of the comedy. So the one-liners are really good. The one issue that's holding me back from being a perfect 10 in this episode, really strong, was the baby wasn't in it at all. The only mention of her we got was when Dana said, our Jane Doe is getting checked up. Our Jane Doe is doing fine. I can't remember the exact wording. I'm just paraphrasing there. But we need to know what the hell is up with this baby. Is it I go back to episode 1. Is it the deaf woman who just forgot about her baby and couldn't hear because she's deaf, obviously, and couldn't hear her name called or her baby's name called? At the end of episode 1, the cliffhanger with Dr. L, she clearly knows something about this baby. Either she has a traumatic past with that specific baby, or she herself as a baby was abandoned, had a traumatic past. I need that to be addressed like in the direct next episode. Like I thought it would be addressed by now. I don't need every single little answer like this is where the baby grew up and this is where the baby came from. But at least give me something like why did Dr. L react the way she did? So unfortunately, the whole lack of baby development in that situation hold it back from a 10. But guys, this was awesome. This was a fan-freaking-tastic, in all sense of the word, episode. The Pitt, I have come to realize, the heart and soul of the Pitt as a show is all about its patients and how much character development those patients get. And that was on full display this week. That was on full display tonight. That was on full display with this episode in particular, specifically, just because whether it's returning patients like Louie or Mr. Williams or the foreshadowing with the brain injuries or the theme and through line of the motorcycles and brain injury, we meant to feel for these patients. The heart and soul is the patient. So I was really impressed with that. But anyways, guys, sorry about that. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this week. I'm gonna give this episode a 9.25 out of 10. Awesome bounce back from what I thought last week. Please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter /X at awanger13. You can follow this show on Twitter follow me on Twitter /X at awanger13. Please like and subscribe. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. Every Thursday night we have the Pitt. Every Sunday night in the Seven Kingdoms. Tomorrow at the time of this recording, or a couple days now from the time of this recording, I'm going to be giving you guys my review episodes 1 through 3 of The Beauty, which is another sci-fi action thriller on FX, on Hulu. At least that's why I watch it, but FX mainly. So yeah, please share this video and share it with anyone and everyone you know. Again, this week's episode of The Pitt, 9.25 out of 10 for me. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for the support as always. Bye.